And welcome back. We've got a front that is stalled to the north here across the Central Plains. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it's going to stay stalled to the north, which means the cooler air is also going to stay parked towards the high plains of the upper Midwest. We will stay high and dry across the southwestern tier of the U.S. You can see not much is happening here from parts of Colorado Springs all the way north and west into Boise, Idaho, and even parts of Montana. So the cooler air over parts of Nebraska, South Dakota, North Dakota, with that stalled front. We do have some east winds coming in across the plains right now, but that is only helping to push in some wildfire smoke right now that was concentrated across the Midwest last night, and so it's kind of nudging some of that smoke back towards the foothills. So a little bit more smoky tonight for parts of Highway 50 in the eastern plains, not so much for the Pikes Peak region. I think we're going to be mainly light to moderate, which is where we're standing right now. So we don't expect those conditions to continue to deteriorate later tonight. But notice temperatures in the 80s and 90s. Average this time of year is in the 60s and low 70s. You can imagine we're far off from that, and that is the way it's been for the last several days. As a matter of fact, I think 2020 we were expecting above average temperatures on average for the whole year, and it's panned out to be that way. And not only that, we've continued to dry out, so it makes for very unfortunate conditions in terms of the drought and high fire danger. Thursday, high temperatures in the 80s and 90s, so it's kind of a rinse and repeat forecast for us on Thursday. The only exception is going to be an increase in wind and certainly a decrease in relative humidity levels across our counties in the far eastern plains and western Kansas. So red flag warnings are in effect from noon to 6 p.m. Tomorrow for these highlighted areas. So a critical fire danger for parts of Springfield and Lamar. Notice this evening, that is a look at the smoke that will start to creep in across Kit Carson County along I-70 down to Powers County, and Powers County is that you'll notice across the Highway 50 areas too, and it doesn't really make it all the way into I-25. It just kind of remains a little bit more stagnant across the eastern plains and along and north of Highway 50 overnight tonight. So something to be cognizant of if you do sleep with the windows open this time of year, which I know many of us do. The smoke is still going to be light to moderate across the Pikes Peak region tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening, and very warm. And look at this, on Friday we're still in the 80s and 90s. So you may be wondering, okay, this is monotonous. When is it going to change? We've been wanting it to change for quite some time, and it looks like we're going to finally get a nice little change in our temperatures, at least by Sunday and Monday. You'll notice this area of low pressure on Thursday is going to be out over parts of the Pacific, south of the Gulf of Alaska. That will swing ashore for California and parts of the Intermountain West by the weekend. So I think our weekend, the first half, is going to be very warm, very dry, very similar to what we've had so far this week. And then we'll start to see some changes arriving on Sunday and Monday. Now, in terms of precipitation, it is way too far out to tell how much moisture we're going to have to work with. You can see the track of the system is going to be everything. That is always what we have to really base the precipitation on, the lifting mechanisms that we will have. But this takes you through Saturday, and you can see some of that moisture moving in across parts of the Intermountain West. But we will have to kind of remain on top of it and really watch the system as it comes in a little bit closer, because it is liable to be a possibility of a boom bust system where we, could have decent amount of moisture. We might not end up with any. And I know that that is not helpful, but I will tell you by Friday and Saturday, the confidence will certainly increase, and that will bring about more information on what we can expect on Sunday and Monday. I certainly don't think we're going to be looking at widespread impacts. I don't think it's going to be that kind of system or a surprise system, but I do think we need to watch the possibility of the moisture here, especially if the system arrives overnight Sunday into Monday and our temperatures are much cooler. That is something that we'll bear watching. For now, the key message is a drop in temperatures. I mean, we go from the 80s in Fremont County the next several days down to the 70s on Sunday. So Sunday is not a complete wash by any means, but Sunday night, heading into Monday, we start to feel that cool down. And that is, I think, the thing we need to hang our hats on right now. And we'll keep you posted, but 20% chance denotes the coverage area, the confidence, and right now the moisture is something that is kind of to be determined. I would just really base it on the overall trend of temperatures at this point. Back to you guys.
All right, Mary, thank you. Coming up, COVID-19 is bringing big change.